Now that George Zimmerman has been charged, how does this speak to the power of the people and even the power of the media? Joining us to talk about it, national radio show host and the man who made the story headline news, Michael Baisden. Good morning, Michael.
How you doing?
Good. We're also joined by famed prosecutor Jeff Ashton here. He's been chiming in all morning long. Michael, I'll start with you. Now that the charges have been made, do you think the hostility in the community will die down?
I don't know that there was any hostility. I thought it was a great coming together. Young people, college students, black, white, Latino, as you can see, there were people of all nationalities protesting. And I don't know why anybody would even classify it as hostility. I think people were passionate. I think that people were hurt. They were disappointed. And now I think there's just a certain sense of relief. I don't think there's any happiness. We certainly believe that at least the arrest has been made, and now there can be a fair trial, which Mrs. Zimmerman is entitled to.
Well, there are so many cases like this that don't get the media attention that this case has received. And Michael, you're responsible for this. But Jeff, let me turn to you with the Casey Anthony trial and so much media attention. Right. You have experience with this. Your reaction to the media attention?
Well, I think media attention is good in sometimes. I think sometimes sort of the fringe elements get too much notice. There was a lot of legitimate protesters out there, very peaceful, but of course the people who were asking for bounties on people's heads are the ones
Yes.
that got the notice. So, but I think it was good that people spoke their minds and that the government responded.
And Michael, let me ask you this: if this trial, if it goes to trial and we see that George Zimmerman is found innocent, what sort of reaction are you expecting from the public?
I expect people to be upset and disappointed, but they're going to accept it because we have to accept it. You know, there's so many other things that this trial has done. In fact, I'm sitting here typing from my Facebook on Baisden Live about the question, what would you like to see change as a result of the Trayvon Martin case? I was typing that just as you called me. And so there's so many other issues. You just spoke about it yourself. What about the other Trayvon Martins? What about the black-on-black violence? What about a lot of other issues in our community that this thing has kind of brought up? And the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize for us, just seeing the parents, the way that the class in which they carried themselves, and the fact that they were not together as a couple, but they came together as parents during a time where their child needed them. There was a lot of great messages in this case that, you know, we're not going to ignore that. So we will be disappointed, but we're going to take the positive lessons away from this.
And it took 45 days for an arrest, Jeff. I mean, what do the charges say about the evidence that the special prosecutor has?
Well, the charges tell me that apparently she believes, or they believe, that there's evidence indicating that this was something more than someone reacting in self-defense because of the second-degree murder charge, which implies a sort of an ill will toward the victim. So it'll be interesting to see what the evidence shows.
Big thank you to Jeff Ashton, Michael Baisden on the phone. Thank you, Michael, so much for joining us this morning.